Well, he might not be able to hear the roar of the crowd, but there's no doubt that fans are cheering him on. University football player Julian Locke shows us you don't need the sense of hearing to make the biggest plays on the football field. The sounds of football are unmistakable.
There you go. Pancake! Back, 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 back!
But for Julian Locke, the game of football sounds like this. Diagnosed with profound hearing loss, Locke hasn't let his disability stop him from doing what he loves.
I can do things. It's easy for me to do things. I can play football and baseball. I can do it.
And he did. Locke made the varsity baseball team as a freshman. 2 years later, he accomplished a longtime goal of his by making the varsity football team as a junior.
He always said that he wanted to play at the big stadium. That was his goal, to play at the big stadium, to be on the field, the Waco ISD Stadium. That's where he wanted to be on.
Locke is just like any other football player on his team. He just communicates a little differently.
The coaches use signs. They made up signs, and they have a wristband that I wear. And so that's how I know where I'm supposed to go.
And he also had a little help from what his parents call his second mother, Jan Laverne.
And she's been a blessing.
To me,
She knows exactly what she's doing out there in the field.
Jan's been Julian's interpreter since his freshman year. She's by his side whenever possible, doing her best to tell Julian what coaches need him to hear.
Jan is one of the most committed individuals, whether it's 6 o'clock practices where we're there at 5 o'clock in the morning, or if it's coming home from a game late at night, you know, you just never hear her complain or anything. She and Julian are just steady as we go.
One thing with Julian, he never used his hearing loss as an excuse. He was taught that philosophy at an early age.
Every day when we come and we see Julian, and you know, we think about the things that we think might be not perfect in our lives, and then we see this kid who makes no excuses and gives you 100% on everything, well then there's an opportunity to learn right there.
Punt no cover, very good.
Turns out, to really know Julian's story, you have to meet his parents.
I just would never think that Julian would be the way he is. Julian grew up kind of rough with our backgrounds.
As a teenager, his father Loopy got caught up in doing the bad things, running with the wrong crowd, something Julian has steered away from. But having his faith has played a big part of who he is.
You know, I tell him to pray every night. He tells me he prays and stuff like that. You know, it's amazing for me to see him do things like that.
Yet, when he's on the field, Julian's on his own. He's taken on challenges for as long as he can remember. He has more to come. Baseball in the spring, and then finishing up his junior year of high school.
Julian, I think, extends the olive branch to all of us on a daily basis to be better than what we are today. If you're around Julian for a day, you'll never forget Julian for the rest of your life.
And Julian says when he graduates high school, he wants to attend the University of Texas. Now, if he keeps doing what he's doing on the diamond, you might just see him in a Longhorn baseball uniform in the near future. We'll be back with sports coming up after the break.